Hey guys, welcome to another pixelated video. Maybe, probably, I don't know. YouTube seems to mess up my videos lately. So I skipped two bad builds. One was Poison Assassin with Viper Strike. Didn't do a video about that, then got sick. Then started another Cast and Damage Taken build. Did a video at the start of it, but later quit that build again and then started this one, which is Inquisitor. Barrage with cast on crit ball lighting, and then another ball lighting setup inside the Asenath helmet, and the bow with fire burst on hit from Essence Craft. So this is like half failed. I wouldn't say that it's failed. I can farm tier 16 maps, but doing Metamorphs is very scary, and it doesn't have a lot of DPS. It's like between 1 and 2 million DPS only combined. So I'm gonna talk about this build and why it's not good. Well, too long didn't watch. I don't have any mitigation. I decided to go with just a lot of flat, I guess not flat, but effective life. I have around 7.6k effective life through my life and energy shield, and I do have life gain on hit from spells. I do get life leech. I do get. Wait, do I have life leech? I may not have life leech. I do have energy shield leech and life gain and hit. Then I got a lot of regen because Inquisitor is standing on consecrated ground, getting life regen. Also have the body armor with recover 15% of your maximum life over 1 second every 5 seconds. Yeah, that's pretty much all. I do have a belt with reduced damage from critical strikes. And that's it. I don't really have any other mitigation besides Granite Flask. So the build did not perform very well, and I'm level 87 and still missing 2 points. Getting the big critical strike multiplier node on the passive skill tree. By the way, using Timeless Jewel to get Corrupted Soul Keystone, which is 50% of non-chaos damage taken by passive energy shield, but you gain 20% of your maximum life as extra energy shield. So that's how I got so much energy shield, being Inquisitor. And I'm doing Inquisitor because, like I said, I'm using the Fire Burst bomb, and Fire Burst is a fire spell which has a half-second cooldown. So you need to hit like 20 times per second to kind of guarantee capped proc rate from the Fire Burst. And Inquisitor works very well with this because well, I ignore all the elemental resistances of enemies, so it works with fire, cold, lighting, but I mainly focus on lighting and fire. One of the cast and crit setups is Barrage with, like I said, increased critical strike chance linked with cast and crit, ball lighting, power charge on crit, and slower projectiles. This is mainly for a single target, but and in the helmet I have ball lighting, GMP, energy leech, and control destruction. And this is mostly for the clear speed. Each time I perform an attack, it triggers that at the start of the attack. By the way, if you missed my previous video about the Asenath Chant, do check it out because I mentioned a couple other build ideas and how else to use Asenath Chant. And people in the comments usually also mention a couple other interesting build ideas. So do check the previous video about that. So my helmet is mostly for the clear speed setup, and it does seem to be enough. Just that falling. The Asenath Chant has 0.3 second cooldown, but it can be reduced with the cooldown recovery speed belt and boots, which I do have. Previously I had tailwind boots, but turns out that Barrage skill is bugged and it has more attack speed than it says, so there's like no accurate way of telling how much attack speed you need to not have too much attack speed to proc Asenath Chant at maximum rate. But I'm gonna show PUB numbers later. But I think I got it pretty close to the max, so I'm proccing ball lightings with GMP pretty frequently, and that helps with the clear speed a lot. And then the cast and crit is mostly for single target, but I can still swap GMP inside the helmet with slower approach. And that's when I need like absolute maximum DPS. And like I said, it goes to almost 2 million DPS. I tried to roughly calculate the DPS in PUB. So, and it feels that way. I was able to kill tier 16 Minotaur on Awakening 8. By the way, all the glyphs are on Awakening 8, I believe. Actually, leveling was very amazing. The helmet is level 45, I believe, and I was using the Tempest Bow, which increases the lighting damage by 100%. And I had lighting, and it was so smooth and so fast clearing. I didn't even need like cast and crit setup, but I did have that. Just have to attack with a bow with any attack. Even one link, well, probably would want to have faster attacks, and you would proc the helmet frequently. And the clear speed was enough just from the helmet. Even the single target was enough just from the helmet. So overall, the build is kind of meh. I would not probably recommend this, but well, if you could get some mitigation, it's very hard to get Fortify as a range build. I don't really have dodge. I don't have block. I guess you could try to get those, but maybe go full live version and get dodge nodes, phase acro, or maybe get block with the rear guard quiver, I believe it's called. But then again, it doesn't really even have very good DPS. By the way, I have level 20 quality 20 ball lighting setups because level 21 was, well, a bit too expensive to buy. But even then, you would not get that much more damage. You could also get, instead of the recovery body armor, you could get like attacks have increased critical strike chance body armor, and replace increased critical strike support in the body armor with something else for more damage. But as Inquisitor, it is pretty important to crit, because then you ignore elemental resistances, and that is very big damage boost. So yeah, and you want some power charges. You may want to use like more utility setup inside the helmet instead of like using in the main setup. I'm using power charge on crit in the main setup, which may not be that great because I only have, I believe, 5 power charges. Or you could even, well, the bow, I'm not sure if it's worth it. I just have this idea. I wanted to play with the Fireburst since I was playing the previous cast and damage taken build, and I crafted the Fireburst band. And it did seem to be doing pretty good damage, so I crafted the bow and started this build. But in the end, it's probably not worth it. And the bow is not the best. I just managed to 6-link it in one fusing, and I did not need to 6-link it at all. I just needed 6 sockets, because every support gem inside the bow will support the Fireburst, even if it's not linked. Other than that, I got Assassin's Mark with life gain on hit by a spells ring, which I would say life gain on hit is not that needed. It seems like it should be, but in reality it's not that much. It still helps. It would be much better to have energy lead, energy on hit, energy shield on hit, but that requires discipline and watcher's eye, and I'm not using discipline. I do have energy leech from the passive skill tree and energy leech support inside the helmet. So the energy leech does not feel that great because, well, I don't have very much energy shield, so it doesn't leech that much per second. But you could get a bit more energy leech. I believe I do have what? I do have Watcher's Eye, which increases the energy leech from, yeah. While affected by Zeltry, I get 30% increased maximum total recovery per second from energy leech. So you probably don't need that, but it did seem like it is helping a bit more. But it probably would be better to just go full life and no energy. The mana is not really an issue because, well, I don't need very high level barrage, because barrage doesn't really do much damage anyway for me. So the mana cost is pretty low, pretty easy to sustain it. The passive skill tree, as Inquisitor, of course, you get Inevitable Judgment, but first I decided to go with the Pious Path to get that flat energy regen. I thought it would help, and I wanted more attack speed to be able to proc it faster. But you probably should go with Inevitable Judgment first, and then either decide if you want to go with the Pious Path or Instrument of Virtue, and then maybe Augury of Penitence. But you do get immunity to elemental ailments, which is very nice. Other than that, life, elemental damage, crit, minion. I decided to go with the minion damage because I needed that. You don't want to get too much attack speed. You kind of have to find your own values for the attack speed. In PoB, I believe, what's my attack speed? My attack speed is 0.32 attack time, well, 3.14 attacks per second. And I do have 2 items with cooldown recovery speed, increase cooldown recovery speed, boots and belt. Which, by the way, increases damage quite a lot because you can proc more cast and crit setups and you can proc fireburst quite a lot more frequently. By the way, to compare the damage, I actually put notes in here what's doing how much damage. So, for example, by the way, when I calculated this, I did not have the Throat Seeker selected, so it would be a bit more. That's why I'm saying it's between 1 and 2 million DPS. So I was calculating like very generously, not taking the maximum proc rate from Blightings, taking only like 3 hits per second instead of 6 or 7 because of cooldown. So cast and crit Blightings inside. Cast and crit Blightings would be dealing around over 500,000 DPS. The helmet is over 200k DPS, which isn't that much. I was kind of expecting more. That is with slower projectiles. And the fire burst is actually pretty big hits. The fire burst is 120k per hit. There you go. 130k even. Average hit. And you can proc it only 2 times per second. Well, with the cooldown recovery speed, it's more than that. So the fire burst ends up doing over 300k damage. So you just add everything up and you get over 1 million, close to 2 million, depending on how many times you hit. But that is during the flash effect. The way you generate frenzied charges is this mod on the quiver. 5% chance to gain frenzied charge on critical strike, and it's pretty reliable and fast way to get it. You are always leashing energy shield. You are always on consecrated ground as long as you're attacking. The shock is from skitterbots. Chill is also ignite. Those don't really matter. Well, ignite does matter because the getting colors inside the buff was pretty annoying. If I could get more blue sockets, I would have more damage, but it wouldn't be like game-changing more damage. It would be just a bit more. So for now, I'm using Ice Bite, and it is easier to maintain your frenzied charges because of the quiver. Added cold damage, or you can use Awaken added cold damage if you can afford, and Hypothermia. Immolate, control destruction, and increase critical damage. That's why Inquisitor is great, because you ignore elemental resistance, so you don't rely on a certain type of element. You don't need to match your curses, you don't need to match your fire exposure or different exposure. That is useless because, well, you just ignore it. I'm gonna leave POB import code and stuff like that in the description if you wanna copy this build, or maybe take this as inspiration for a better build, because this is definitely not the best build. And yeah, the next build will probably be Burning Arrow. I just decided to, well, I wanted to play Burning Arrow, and the Burning Arrow, I could get 1.5 million damage over time per second on Sirius and with over 6k life, but I would have like no mitigation, so I'm not sure about that. We'll see. Maybe I can figure out something. Maybe I'm gonna go Jug instead of Chieftain. So yeah, so that's gonna be in the next video. So for now, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.